Hey guys, Jon Davids at Livedress. I want to talk about a big headline that was in the news recently and the bigger implication that this headline has. So the news is that General Motors is pulling its $10 million annual Facebook advertising spend. It's pulling that. It's not going to spend money to advertise on Facebook anymore. Now, I think this issue goes far beyond Facebook and far beyond General Motors. And the issue is this. Most advertisers don't really know where social media fits into their broad advertising spend when it comes to objectives. What types of objectives should we be trying to reach? Now, I'll talk about how Livedress addresses this in a moment, but I want to start off talking about three things that marketers need to be focused on when it comes to their social media spend. The first point is this. Social media must be used to activate consumer behavior. Now, this is the most important point that if you get just one point out of this entire video, remember this. Social media must drive behavior, and that behavior must be tied to sales. So what a lot of marketers say is, well, our consumers are doing stuff. They're liking us on Facebook, they're tweeting us, they're sharing our content, so we're activating behavior. No. Again, must be tied to sales. Now, the second point is this. Social media must be used to compound reach. Now, we call this the viral expansion loop. And the viral expansion loop basically is that every message you put out there loops around, and the loop gets bigger and bigger and bigger each time as your users share more and more of the content. Now, on Livedress, every dollar spent turns into $1.70. 1.7 is the rate of our viral expansion loop. Now, I'm not going to get into how it all works. If you're interested, then by all means, please get in touch. But just keep this in mind as the overall message. Your social media spend is only a social media spend if people are socializing your content. Now, the third point is this, and this takes us right back to the General Motors story. Social media objectives should be the same objectives as every other type of marketing. You spend money on broadcast, you spend money on print, you spend money on outdoor advertising, and you have very clear-cut objectives when it comes to all of those forms, but for some reason with social media, the objectives are different. That's not how it should be. Social media objectives should be the same as every other form of advertising. Now, the reason General Motors pulled its Facebook advertising spend is because it wasn't seeing results. And what does that mean for General Motors? It means the bottom line. They weren't seeing money coming back in. They're pouring $10 million a year into Facebook, and they're not seeing it come in the form of sales. Now, Livedress in Canada, we have an audience of 4.5 million people. In the States, we have 5.5 million people, so we're close to 10 million in North America. And what we always say is, you're not going to spend money getting people to share stuff. You're not going to spend money getting people to vote, getting people to give you feedback, getting people to like you or tweet you or do any of that. You're going to spend money getting people to buy your product. Now, if you're interested in how Livedress does this, then by all means get in touch. We're happy to share. But I want to leave you with one final thought, and that is this. Social media is often looked at as the next generation of digital media. That's not how you should be looking at it. Social media, as far as we're concerned, is the next generation of behavioral marketing, of experiential marketing. It used to be that if you wanted to get up close and personal and touchy-feely with your clients and your customers, you had to set up a pop-up store, you had to set up a booth at a trade show, you've got to actually be there physically in person. Social media has taken that exact same practice and scaled it. The stuff that we are doing with our clients, and we're talking about the biggest advertisers in the world that we work with, is much more akin to behavioral marketing than it is to digital marketing. Thanks very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys soon.